Hi everyone, today we are going to be doing some of this page here. Nice Christmassy image from Menuet de Bonheur. I can't say it very well. I thought I would choose this page. There's a lot of items in here that you might find in other Christmas pages, so I thought you could pick up some ideas even if you aren't colouring precisely in this book. So what I'm going to do, we have a lot of repeating items, so if you can see we have lots of pine cones, we have holly leaves, we have berries, we have these sort of flowers and different things like that, and mistletoe. So I thought I would take one element, colour that through the whole page, you know, all of those elements that are the same, hope that I don't miss any because I know what I'm like, and then move on to another one and do it that way. I find that a much easier way to colour a page for me, and a little bit quicker, and just, I don't know, I just prefer it. Now I've got my Staedtler Design Journey pencils today. I haven't tried them in this book on this paper. This is beautiful paper. This is the Japanese version of the book, and the paper is apparently much nicer than other versions of the book. I'm coming in a bit closer to this pine cone, which is where I am going to start. There it is. It's a bit grey. It's absolutely grey outside and raining. My paper looks quite grey. I don't know if there's much I can do about it really. I'm just going to crack on. So with my pine cone, I'm going to start with number 7, which is our light brown, and just colour the whole thing. That will help me pick out the shape, because we've got petals overhanging it here, so it makes it a little bit complicated for my brain to work out what's going on. So I'm going to colour the whole thing over so that I can make out the shape, and then I can grab, see, like, is that a bit of the flower or a bit of the pine cone? I am not entirely sure, that bit. I'm just going to do the rest and then look at it with a sort of eye, you know, and just think what looks right. This is going down nicely. This paper is just glorious. What is nice about it, it's quite smooth to the touch. It's a really interesting feel. I've not got any other paper that feels like this, but it can take quite a lot of layers of colour. So, and it works with Prismacolors, definitely. I've tried them on here. I think that's a bit of the flower. That's how I'm going to leave it. And I'm going to do all my other pine cones the same as this. So I'm going to go round doing the same on each of them. I find that if I use one colour, then the next colour, etc., etc., it's a little bit quicker, but it means that they look more similar, which you might prefer them not to look the same, but I prefer to sort of use the same technique on each one. For me, it makes sense. So I've got one here. Now I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to add some glitter and bling, shine to the page or not to make it more festive looking. I'm going to just see how it comes out really. I probably won't do anything until the end, but I may just change my mind because, you know, that's what I like, that's what I do, but we'll see. What I've tried to do during December is to pick pictures from a variety of different books to give you some variety of video. Oops. My book is so big, I'm having to move some stuff on my desk so I can keep turning it round and round. I've got Christmas shopping lists and yeah, all sorts of junk on here. I'm in the middle of a different series that I'm recording at the same time as this, just to make it even more complicated for myself. So I've got a different set of pencils, but it's because the other series I'm making is the Agatapop evening videos, and I've done the first 12 of those, and then I thought I'd better do a little bit for my afternoon videos or else I'm going to get behind. I'm looking to see if I'm sure there's another one. There it is. So I'm going to get sort of in a bit of a worry if I spend all my time doing agatas and then find that I haven't got anything for the afternoons, and suddenly time catches up with me. I have got quite a lot on, as we all do in December, but I wanted to share lots of Christmas content with you. Last December I had a look at what I'd shared, and it was a bit rubbish, I thought, well, with regards to the amount of content. We are now going to move to the 76, and what I'm going to do here is to try and add some depth into our pine cone by putting some darker colour in the centre and then fading it out like that. So I'm layering it more in the middle and fading it to the edge, and hoping that when I finish it will look a bit more three-dimensional. Now these edges pieces there I think might benefit from being very much paler, but I do need a bit of shadow in there. I'm just thinking about where they overlap. There's going to be a bit darker, that sort of thing. I can hear a tap. Oh, it's raining. I'm thinking, what's that tapping? Oh, it's the rain on the window. It's such a miserable morning. Dark still, raining. It's very, very warm though, really hot. My husband came to bed last night, well, this morning, about 1:15, and I woke up when he came in, and he was saying, I'm not feeling very well. He's saying my stomach's upset and I feel really, really hot and I've got a headache. And I was like, it is really hot, actually. I threw the covers off. So hot. And he took some pills and then he zonked out. But he's still asleep now. It is 9 o'clock, which isn't surprising, as he'd been to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning on Friday night, which was the night before, and got up at 7. I don't know how he does it, to be honest, but I suppose he has a weekend off, whereas I don't. Can you see, hopefully you can, that by putting more colour in the centre, we have created a look of depth. I'm just going to sort of put a few darker lines in a few little areas. I have to say this pencil isn't sitting as well on this paper as the Prismacolor does, but I'm still happy with it. There we go. I'm happy with that. I think it looks fairly three-dimensional. Not, I mean, look, compared to that one. I'm just going to wipe my nose and we'll move on. So yes, he's still in bed. One of my sons is still in bed as well. He's usually up past midnight on a non-work day, shall we say. It's all right for these people who have non-work days. What are they? I do every day. I don't get days off. But anyway, I go to bed early because I'm exhausted by 9 o'clock. I'm absolutely shattered. And I like to keep to a strict routine with bed and mornings. So like on a Monday morning I have to get up at I get up at 6:15. My son leaves at 7:20. On a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, exactly the same. There's someone leaving at 7:20 in the morning, so I get up early to help get them up, and lunch boxes and things like that. I've got no problem with that at all, because if no one else is leaving, which is what happens on a Monday, as soon as my son's left, I can get on with my day. When my husband's leaving, it's not quite the same, because he doesn't leave so early. But anyway, it's I'm happy. But I get up, and then so when it comes to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, when I don't have to be up so early, I just wake up then anyway, and I'm fine with it. I prefer to be up. This morning I think it was 6:15 when I woke up, which is my alarm goes at 6 normally, to give me a little bit of time to where are we here? A little bit of time to organise my thoughts before I get out of bed. Do a bit of visualisation. Yeah, bit of visualisation, bit of relaxation, grab my phone, just have a little look at a few things. I usually read the news, which is probably not the best thing to do first thing in the morning, but you know. And then, although what I do is, the fact that I read the news means that I look on the BBC News website and I choose the stories I want to read. So I look at the headlines, and if it's something nasty, I don't read it. I know it's happening, don't want to read about it. You know, the headline tells me enough, that's it. And then I read the nice stories. What was I reading this morning? There's some disgraced TV presenter. I was reading a little bit about him and what he's been up to. It's not positive news in any sense, but it doesn't depress me or, you know, make me feel sad, or it's sort of not nice, but you know, it doesn't affect me personally, affect my mood. Whereas sort of natural disasters and man-made disasters and things like that, I don't like those. What else was I reading? I can't remember really. I looked at the newspaper headlines. I didn't really look at much. See? Oh. So that was all fine. Let's put both of those in shot. Make it a bit easier. So I did that, and then I looked at, I put a Ko-fi item up available for, what I've done is with my Ko-fi Advent, I don't know if you've been looking at it, basically a freebie a day. What I've tried to do is vary it a bit so there's something for everyone, I hope. And there's free downloads, different things, and I've got them all set up. You can't schedule them as such, you know, you can't tell it to release them at certain times on certain days, but I can put a draft up, so I've done that. I did that last night. Last night was the 30th of November. It's only the 1st of December today. So I put those up last night, and so I released it this morning. So I had a quick check through it and then just made it public so people can go and download day one. Well, by now it'll be 11 maybe. I'm trying to think. 12. I can't think what day this is going to go out. But anyway, I got that ready. So that was nice. I checked that and put that up. So that was the first, with some holly colouring sheets. The only thing that I can draw is holly. The only thing. I don't know why I can draw holly and absolutely nothing else, but you know. So I thought I'd do a few holly colouring sheets. So you can download it and practice your holly colouring, or you can use it as a border, use it as a Christmas card. You can do whatever you want with it. Just a little something from me to you. And there will be lots of different things. Colouring book index sheets, Christmas colour combinations, metallic colour combinations. There was some anagrams. What else? The anagrams was a bit random, as was the holly really, but I just brainstormed a few ideas and just went for it. There was, I can't remember. Step-by-step colouring tutorials. I think they were the best things. In my opinion, that's what I would value the most, but you know, everyone likes different things. So it was just the idea to give you something a day for 24 days, just because it was Advent. And at that point of making that, which was in October, I had no idea what I was going to colour for Christmas, or whether I had a sort of Advent calendar type idea to colour, because I usually colour an Advent calendar and I didn't have one. So, well, I did have one, but it wasn't calling to me at the time. Now that was probably because it was October. But so I did this other thing, and now I have got a download that I'm doing as an Advent calendar for you, so it's all good. Right, I'm just going to double check that I have done every pine cone. Yes, I have. Right, we're going to do the acorns next. It feels like a natural progression to do this sort of nuts. So grab the 77, and we're going to do the bottom bit with the 77. And I always keep these quite simple. I'll show you. So what I tend to do is just layer it up on the edge a lot. Don't be tempted to press really hard. even if you've got the best quality paper, you don't want to indent it with your pencil. So just keep layering it up on that edge and that edge, and then fade it a bit towards the middle. Now we don't need a shine on this cup part because they're matte, they're rough, woody, so we can emphasize these lines a bit that are drawn on here because they're there for a reason. Now our next ones, we've got a little cluster here, so we're just going to do, we've got a bit of stick as well to do. We'll just block that in a bit and then do our edges. So I'm trying to keep my hand out of the way like that, and we'll just do them. Now I do have a really detailed acorn colouring video. Where is that? And I was following a tutorial from a Helen Elliston book, and yeah, I try and share a link to it in the top, you know, a card. But if you want it and you can't find it, let me know, I'll find it and give you a link. Got one here, look. This one's much bigger, looks slightly different. I mean, there are different types of nuts that look like acorns that I see about, and I don't know if they are all off the oak tree or different types of oak, because, you know, they might differ a bit, or quite what they are really. Now where's our next set? Oh, down at the bottom, got one there, look. But anyway, so nice and simple for this. I grabbed the Staedtlers for this because I didn't want to use polychromos again, because I think I've been using them a lot lately, and I like to vary the pencils just so that you all get, there's a chance that you get a set that you've got, if you know what I mean, to colour with. But also I didn't want a huge colour choice, because I didn't feel like, it's early in the morning-ish, I have sort of 9, it's not that early, but I wasn't in the mood for making huge colour choices. I thought about doing the castles on this, but I think I've used castles in a page from here before as well. Now I'm trying to look. I think that's it. Give me a minute, I'm just going to double check. Got a little mousy face in the shot while I look. I think that's it. So for the let's go back to this little cluster here. Oh, we got two there. For the actual nutty bit, they're more of an orangey brown, so I've got my 73. Now I'm going to do the darker parts of it with this. In fact, I might just do the whole thing like that. It's a bit simpler, that's the word, a bit simpler. I can't speak. I actually had a bit of a lazy morning today. It is Sunday after all. I got up and did a bit of the crossword. We buy a big issue each week. There's a lovely lady that sells it in our town, and so we bought one from her, as we do every week when we're at the farmers market, and it has a cryptic crossword. Now people say, I don't know how to do cryptic crosswords, and I'm like, well, I didn't used to know either, but I learnt, and I find them fun because I used to do them with my son, but he hasn't been so keen lately, which is a bit of a shame. But I do them on my own, and the logic, the sort of almost riddle type way they're written is so fun that and when you get the question right, you can often just know that it's right because you can put the answer back into the question. It all sort of works. It's almost like, it's not a mathematical puzzle, it's a logic puzzle, I suppose, and I just enjoy them so much. I get sad if she isn't there and I don't get my crossword, although I tend to read a book then instead. I've nearly finished my book that I'm reading, and then I've got another one I'm halfway through. It's really unlike me to be in the middle of 2 books at once, but because they're non-fiction, it doesn't feel quite as naughty. Naughty. I'm going to do some holly. Let's do some holly. Now, what is our best holly colour in this set? Probably the number 5 green. This one's getting quite short. Luckily I have another one or two. One or two, I'm not sure, at least one. I've got loads of Ergosofts of this colour as well, and the Ergosoft colours are identical to these, which means that I'm going to go do a light layer, which means that I can put the Ergosofts in here if I run out. Because my husband used to use coloured pencils for his art, and he doesn't anymore. And when he was doing that, he used Ergosofts, and he bought lots of open stock Ergosofts which were available from, although Staedtler says they've never provided them, Cult Pens used to sell them. Now I think what happened, I'm going to just go around the edge, was Cult Pens would buy them in boxes of 12 and then split them up and sell them in ones, or whatever numbers you wanted really. So I think that's what happened. So anyway, he bought lots. So I've got loads of spares of this particular colour, as well as a few others of what were his favourites. Now, this isn't very neat at the minute, but what I'm going to do is do all the leaves like this, and then put another colour in this lighter section in the middle. But I'm going to not do the other colour now. I'm going to come back to that after. This is my sort of technique for colouring pages like this when I do them on my own. I don't always do it like this when I do it on video. It just depends on what I think will be easier for you. But today it's Sunday, I'm just doing my way, nattering away, colouring it my way. You can listen, you can colour along or not, it's just, you know, up to you. Now, this group of berries has got some stem. I'm going to do them this colour. Now, I'm going to do these berries red as if they're holly berries. We'll come to those later. So doing the stem the same colour as the holly leaves makes sense. That's just explaining to you why I've chosen to do it that way. There we go. Now we'll go downwards. I think I can see some here. Look, this is a piece of holly. There's another bit below, but it's a little bit too low. We'll get this one done first. Now I'm not sure how many videos this page is going to be. It seemed a little bit daunting when I first looked at it. And then I saw that there were so many little things on this page that I really liked to colour, like pine cones and holly and etc., that I decided it wouldn't take as long. The thing I am completely unsure of are these sort of snowflake shapes. I've got absolutely no clue what colour to do them, because I would normally do snowflakes either in a blue or a grey or a silver, something like that. But I'm not sure whether those colours are going to match in with all these nature colours, all these warm browns and greens and reds. I think gold matches better, but kind of gold snow. So I don't know what I'm doing. Distracting myself. So I'm not sure. Just heard some weird clicks in the wall. I think it's probably the heating going on or someone using the water. Here my son's scraping his bowl in the kitchen. At least he's getting on. Now where are we going? Oh, move my sharpener out of the way. I think we've got one here. Look. This is a lovely book, by the way. I have done a flip through. I find some of the pages a bit daunting, but that doesn't make them any less lovely. And that's why I was determined to do a Christmas page from here. And I decided to share one with you just because there were so many elements in this page that I see in other Christmas pages, if that makes sense. So I thought it would be useful even if you didn't have the book, because I know this is one that not everyone has. I don't know if it's available to buy on Amazon. I think it might be on with the English paper. If you want the Japanese paper, I think you have to go to Etsy. I'm just looking. Oh, over here. There we go, there. So it's, yeah, it's a little bit, oh, hang on. I just spotted a set of berries here, look, with the stem to colour in. There we go. Now, here, look, we've got some berries with the stem. Just blocking in these stems with the green. Nothing special. I'm hoping the berries will stand out and they won't need an exciting looking stem. And here is our leaf. This time I need to remember what I'm doing. A light colour first. I'm thinking, I was talking about the snowflakes. I've got my finger on one here. Maybe it doesn't matter if I do them gold. I just really fancy doing them in a gold glitter pen. But I don't know. I could do them in my silvery glitter pen, I suppose. I'll have a think. We're quite far away from having to make that decision, luckily. Oh, we've got quite a few here, look. I'm going to look for stems first, in amongst our berries, because that's the bit I'm likely to forget. Ooh, wibble the book. Putting up the Christmas tree later, I think. Although my son, who is still in bed, wanted to do it, and he's got work plan this morning. He's got revised for an exam that he's got next week, and I think he had something else to do as well, but I can't remember. Husband needs to be up because he's got to tidy some of his stuff out of the way so we can put the tree up, because the place where we put it, which is next to television, he's got a pile of books and cards and all sorts. So there's that going on. And yeah, I've just had a little idea, because he was going to make a Christmas card for his father, and his dad's actually said he's quite looking forward to getting a handmade card. And I suddenly realised that he's actually bought him a card already, which was a nice card with a glass ornament on it. And I thought maybe we could give that to his cousin, who we normally send a little pressie to. I've remembered that it wasn't a Christmassy one. It was a kingfisher, I think. So maybe that isn't an appropriate Christmas present. I'll have to talk to him about it when he gets up. Someone's up. I can hear someone. Sounds like someone's at the sink. I'm just looking to see if there's any more, and I think I'm done. So I'm going to grab my number 50 and fill in the space here. Try and bring it all together and just fill in the gap. Now this is quite a light colour, but I think it's nice and warm and pretty, and hopefully will work. It's interesting because I really enjoy Christmas colouring, and then when I get to, after a while, I start thinking, goodness, I can do without colouring any more holly or whatever it might be. I'm quite happy with it at the minute. But I think there's a sort of limit when it comes to Christmas pictures. You know, everyone seems to do quite similar things maybe, and so you get to the point where you're like, that's enough now. Whereas like with flowers, you can colour them any colour you like, so you can colour them all year and it doesn't matter. So it's interesting. There we go. But I've got a bit of a mix for you, because I've got a Magical World series running. I'm not sure which one's running now. There was the flowers, the fancy flowers one, and then the candies, which was slightly Christmassy but not. If that makes sense. We also had Agatha's candy pages as well. So but they were much more Christmassy. And so it's you know, a bit of a mix for you. I wanted to keep some magical worlds going. I think I've done these already, but I just want to tidy them up a bit. There we go. There's all our holly. Now, berries. Yay, love berries. Now, what colour? I think I'm going to use the 299. Here we go. Can't say. This is the Calming Dark. For me, this is the best red for berries. And what I'm going to do with the berries is go around the edge and then just fade towards the middle. I'm going to keep them really simple, to be honest. I don't feel they need too much fuss. We can put, you know, sometimes when I do berries I use about 100 different colours, and actually can look quite effective. I might do a second colour on these, but that's it. What I'm trying to do is layer up on the inside and fade towards the middle. It isn't really working, so I feel like I need a darker colour to just put some a darker bit on the edge. So I'll come back and do that. I'm going to go all round, do all the berries first. Now, holly berries I don't think normally come in such a big cluster as this, but maybe I'm wrong. But actually, whenever I try and gather holly, I used to try and grab some from father-in-law's garden. They would never seem to have very many berries on at all, maybe about 3. And so I wouldn't take those because obviously it wasn't my holly bush. There we go. See, these don't look like the same sort of berries, but I'm going to colour them as holly berries. We do have some mistletoe berries as well in the middle, but I'm going to colour those as mistletoe later. But I think I want these as holly. I've also got to think about how to colour all those flowers. Right, so we aren't doing these are mistletoe, but down here, these holly. Yeah, I also take mistletoe from his house. I tried to once. The problem is it always grows so high in the tree, so it's really difficult to get it down. And his is always very light. The leaves very pale. I think there are different types. I prefer the ones that are a bit darker. But I tend to colour them pale because then they contrast with the holly and maybe ivy, which is often in Christmas pictures too. There we go. My son started singing a few Christmassy songs, which is rather nice. He always used to say no Christmas songs, but now he sings. He enjoys them a bit. This is nice. I'll have to put some Christmas music on, I think. My husband was watching Home Alone yesterday. Apparently he's on about 2-3 times a week at the moment. I have never... Now those are mistletoe. I've never watched Home Alone. I don't like it at all. The idea of someone being hurt, I know they're baddies and it's supposed to be silly and it's slapstick, but it's just not my thing at all. I look at it, I was watching it, I glanced over and the guy had his head all burnt, and I was like, ow, that's so painful. You know, that's what goes through my head. I can't just laugh at it and think it's silly, like a cartoon, which it is. If they were cartoon characters, I could just do that. Because they're actual people, I'm like, ooh. I never used to be so bad. I think since I had kids, I've become a bit more, you know. But anyway, it's just not my thing. But he's getting very excited about the fact there's a new Wallace and Gromit film on Christmas Day. Some berries here, and there's no holly or mistletoe. Can't get the right words, but it doesn't matter. But there's a bit there. I think this might be the last bit, and then I'll grab a different colour, but I'm not sure. And I'm no idea what these are. I might go and when I finish this video, before I start part 2, I might go and have a look and see how other people have coloured that to get an idea. I'm wondering if it's supposed to be like a slice of orange. I'm going to use this one. This is number 260, which is the mauve or Tuscan red. It's got 2 names, because obviously a mauve and a Tuscan red are similar. Not. I'm just going to go around the edges. I don't understand how it can be called mauve, to be honest, but I think what I found was I looked up the pencil names on the Staedtler website, and there was inconsistency. So for example, the Ergosoft set had a certain set of names, then the Design Journey had a different set of names, but the smaller Design Journey set had a different set of names to the larger Design Journey set. So as I say, there was inconsistency, which confused me somewhat. Someone's just gone down for breakfast. So yeah, so in some sets this is called mauve, and I would say it was more of a browny red, but here we go. Now in the other video I did for this, in this book, I did the berries all slightly different shades of the same colour, and I liked that idea, but I haven't done that here because I'm not in the mood for choosing a billion different colours, as I said. Oh, my book's catching on my swatch chart. So so we're keeping them the same. There we go. These ones. I think I'm going a bit fast. I'm sorry. There must be 2 people downstairs because I can hear talking. I know some of my family talk to themselves. I think I did those. Don't know though, maybe I just coloured them unevenly. I think that's okay. There we go. I think that's us for now. So I've done a fair bit. I'm going to go and investigate who's up, and let me just show you what we've done so far. Yeah, I'm going to investigate who's up and look up what that is, see if I can get any clues from anybody. But there we go for now. That is what we've done so far. I have to say, I feel like the castles went down better on the paper than the Staedtlers do. I think a softer pencil works better on this paper, but that's fine. I'm going to keep going with these because I've started, and I'm fine with it really. But thank you for watching today. I hope that you have a super day. Look out for another video later. I think it's about 4 hours time there'll be another one. But for now, thank you and happy colouring.